Everything that broke you also built you. You just didn't see the blueprint at the time, but life was constructing a stronger version of you with every setback. Everything you lost was clearing space for something greater. You don't grow into your future by clinging to what was never meant to last. The person you're becoming needed everything you thought was breaking you, because without it, you would have never discovered your strength, your resilience, or your purpose. What if every painful moment, every setback, and every success had a reason behind it? What if the things you thought were holding you back were actually pushing you forward? What if that breakup, that failure, that unexpected detour, what if it was all shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next? Life doesn't always make sense in the moment. Sometimes it feels unfair, sometimes it hurts. But what if all of it had a purpose? You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to look closer, think deeper, and ask yourself, what did that moment teach me? You might find that even your lowest points were preparing you for something greater. This video will help you see how life's events, good and bad, can shape who you are and where you're going. If you're ready to stop questioning your journey and start finding meaning in it, then let's dive in. Number 1. Reflect on past struggles to find hidden lessons. You've been there sitting alone in your room after another rough day, staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong. Maybe you failed at something you worked hard for. Maybe someone you trusted let you down. Maybe life just hit you out of nowhere with something you never saw coming. And in that moment, it feels like everything is crashing in on you. You question your worth. You doubt your path. You think maybe you're just not cut out for this. That feeling is real. It's not weakness. It's part of being human. But the mistake most people make is to leave that pain untouched, unexplored, and unsorted. They carry it like a weight without ever turning it over to see what's underneath it. And that's where they miss the treasure. Because every hard moment has something buried in it. But you don't find it by running from the pain. You don't find it by pretending it didn't happen. You find it by sitting down, slowing your breath, and asking yourself, what did this teach me? What did I learn about myself that I didn't know before? What truth did I discover about life? You begin to reflect, not as a victim, but as a student. You start to look back not to replay the pain, but to extract the lesson. That's how you grow. That's how you become wiser. You look at the worst moments and say, all right, you hit me hard, but what did you leave behind? You remember that job you didn't get? It showed you what you really wanted. It made you refine your skills. It made you tougher. You remember that heartbreak? It revealed your blind spots. It taught you to listen better, to speak with more honesty, to love with more boundaries. You remember that financial setback? It taught you to manage your money, to value discipline, to find strength in the basics. You think back to the moments you cried, and now you see how those tears cleared your vision. But that only happens when you pause long enough to reflect. Most people don't. They rush to the next distraction, the next excuse, the next false comfort. And by doing that, they skip the lesson that could have changed their life. You've got to take your pain seriously. Not dramatically, seriously. If it hurt, then there was something important in it. And if it was important, then it's worth examining. This isn't about overthinking. This is about understanding. There's a difference. Understanding gives you power. It gives you clarity. It makes you sharper next time. Reflection is not weakness. It's strategy. It's how you stop repeating the same mistakes. It's how you build a life that works. Nobody wakes up wise. Wisdom is earned, and it's usually earned the hard way. Through confusion, through doubt, through nights you wish never happened. But then one day you look back and realize you're not that same person anymore. You're stronger. You're more alert. You're more grateful. And that's not by accident. That's because you took the time to think, to dig, to learn. And that's what most people skip. They want the success without the process. But the process is what shapes you. You can't be afraid of your past. You can't hide from it. You've got to use it. Think about this. If every struggle you've ever faced had even one small lesson in it, how much knowledge is sitting inside your own life that you haven't touched yet? That's power you're leaving on the table. That's wisdom you're leaving unused. And life doesn't give us anything without a reason. The reason may not be clear right away, but if you stop, sit down, and reflect, it starts to show itself. And reflection doesn't always feel good at first. Sometimes it stings. It's uncomfortable, because it forces you to admit where you messed up, where you ignored the signs, where you should have walked away, or tried harder, or asked for help. But that honesty, that raw, uncomfortable honesty, is what frees you. That's what makes you lighter. That's what makes you real. And once you've faced it, it can't control you anymore. You're no longer carrying that weight blindly. You've sorted it, learned from it, and left behind what you didn't need. You want to build a better future? Start by studying your past. The answers are not in some book or on some stage. They're already in your life. But you've got to be brave enough to face them. You've got to be strong enough to revisit the pain, not to feel it again, but to learn from it. That's what makes pain worth it. That's how you make sure it wasn't wasted. Think of your past struggles like a map. They point out where you lost direction, where you hit walls, where you made progress, even if it didn't look like it at the time. And the more clearly you understand that map, the more confidently you can walk forward. You stop living in reaction. You start living with direction. You stop running from pain. You start using it as your teacher. That's how strong people are built. That's how real character is formed. So don't wait for a perfect day to sit down and reflect. Start now. Take a quiet moment. Think back to a time that shook you. Ask yourself, what was life trying to teach me? Be honest. Be specific. And keep going. This isn't something you do once and forget. This is something you keep doing as you grow. Because with every new level in life, you face new challenges. And every challenge comes with a new lesson. The real winners in life are not the ones who avoid struggle. They're the ones who learn from it, who study it, who take the hit but come back smarter. That's the difference. Life will hit everyone. The question is, what do you do with it? And the answer starts with reflection. Not blaming, not avoiding. Reflecting. Looking back so you can move forward with more wisdom, more focus, and more courage than before. You've got more in you than you think. But you've got to uncover it. And to uncover it, you've got to understand what life has already taught you. Everything happens for a reason, but the reason is only revealed to those who are willing to reflect. Number 2, journal daily to track growth through hard moments. Most people underestimate the power of writing down their thoughts every single day. They think journaling is just for teenagers or people who want to keep secrets. But here's a truth that can change everything. Putting your struggles on paper is one of the most powerful tools for growth. When life feels chaotic and confusing, your mind becomes a storm of emotions, questions, and doubts. It's easy to lose track of what you're feeling or why you're feeling it. Writing helps you slow down that storm. It forces you to sit with your experience, sort through it, and begin to understand what's really going on inside. It is like a mirror, reflecting back what your heart and mind need to see. Starting to journal does not mean you have to write long essays or perfect sentences. Just 5 minutes a day can do wonders. Grab a notebook or open a simple app on your phone and write about what happened today. Write about the moments that challenged you, the feelings that surprised you, and the thoughts that keep repeating in your head. This act of daily writing creates a record of your journey, a story only you can tell. Over time, this story becomes a roadmap, showing how far you've come and what patterns keep showing up. Think about the last time you faced a tough day. What was running through your mind? Were you overwhelmed by worry? Did you feel stuck or powerless? When you put those feelings on paper, something shifts. You separate yourself from the chaos. You see your thoughts not as overwhelming waves, but as something you can understand and manage. Journaling is a way to get out of the trap of feeling helpless and start stepping into control over your own life. The beauty of daily journaling is that it helps you notice growth, even when it feels like nothing is changing. There are days when progress feels invisible, when you feel like you are running in place. But when you look back over weeks and months of writing, you start to see your own transformation. You catch moments where you acted differently, made better decisions, or simply survived when before you might have given up. Those little victories build up, and suddenly you have proof that you are not stuck. You are evolving. Also, writing about hard moments forces you to be honest with yourself. It strips away the excuses and the stories we tell to make ourselves feel better temporarily but do not serve long-term growth. You begin to see the truth in your behavior and the reality of your situation. That truth is not meant to punish you but to free you. It's the foundation for real change. Without honesty, growth remains shallow and temporary. The daily habit of journaling can also calm your mind before sleep. Many people struggle with restless nights filled with worry and what-if scenarios. When you write down your thoughts before bed, you unload the mental clutter. Your brain gets a chance to process your day and prepare for rest. This simple step improves your mental clarity and emotional balance. And over time, this clarity allows you to face challenges with more calm and confidence. There is another powerful side to journaling that many overlook. Writing helps you discover your own inner voice. When you put your struggles into words, you begin to listen to yourself in a new way. You start to hear what you really want, what scares you, and what you need. This self-awareness is crucial for making decisions that align with who you truly are and what you want your life to be. Without this clarity, it is easy to follow the wrong path or stay stuck in painful situations. Journaling also strengthens your ability to reflect on your progress. When you revisit old entries, you see not only the hard times but also how you responded. You learn what strategies helped you cope and what choices made things worse. This reflection sharpens your problem-solving skills and builds emotional resilience. You stop reacting blindly to circumstances and begin responding with intention. Writing daily about your growth through hard moments is a commitment to yourself. It says you are willing to face discomfort and uncertainty because you believe in your capacity to improve. That kind of commitment separates those who live passively from those who actively shape their destiny. It's an act of courage and hope wrapped in simple words on a page. This practice does not require anyone else's approval or input. It is a private space where you can be raw and real. No judgment, no pressure. Just you and your truth, and that freedom creates a safe environment for real healing and transformation. Over time, journaling becomes not just a habit, but a companion in your journey, a steady witness to your struggles and your victories. If you take the time to write each day, you'll find the confusing parts of life begin to make sense. You'll start to connect the dots between your past pain and your present strength. You will discover patterns you didn't notice before, and you'll see how even your biggest setbacks planted seeds for your future success. This daily record becomes a powerful tool to remind you that you are growing, learning, and moving forward, even when the path feels unclear. The simple act of setting a timer for just 5 minutes every day to write down your experiences is an investment that pays off in ways you cannot predict. It builds mental muscles that help you face tomorrow's challenges with more clarity, peace, and strength. And it opens the door to deeper self-understanding and greater confidence. The people who use journaling well are not people who avoid struggle. They are people who use struggle as fuel for growth. They turn pain into insight. They turn confusion into clarity. And that's a skill anyone can develop with consistent practice. The key is to start small and stay steady. 5 minutes a day, every day, is enough to change how you see yourself and your life. There is no perfect way to journal. There is no right or wrong. What matters is that you show up for yourself, that you make space to explore your thoughts and feelings honestly, that you give yourself permission to grow through your hard moments rather than running from them or burying them deep inside. When you keep track of your growth through daily journaling, you build a powerful foundation for a meaningful life. You create a habit of self-awareness that makes all other changes easier and more lasting. This is how you turn the difficult moments into stepping stones, one day at a time. The challenge is real, the pain is real, but so is your ability to rise, and writing daily about your journey is one of the most practical, effective ways to prove that to yourself. It is a tool that helps you hold on to hope, gain perspective, and keep moving forward no matter how hard the path becomes. So the question is not whether you have time to journal. The question is whether you have time to miss out on what your own story can teach you when you take the time to write it down and learn from it every single day. Number 3. Reframe setbacks as steps toward personal evolution. Life throws punches at everyone. There are moments when it feels like the world is closing in and everything you planned has fallen apart. These setbacks hit hard. They shake your confidence and make you question if it is even worth trying anymore. That feeling is familiar to most people. It is normal to feel defeated after a failure or disappointment. But what separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck is the way they see those setbacks. The difference is not in the event itself, but in the meaning they give it. A setback is not the end of the road. It is a turning point, a fork in the journey. The moment you shift your thinking about setbacks from something bad to something necessary, you unlock a powerful source of growth. Instead of asking why this happened to me, start asking what this is preparing me for. This simple change in perspective turns pain into progress. It stops you from feeling like a victim and helps you see yourself as a learner and a builder. Think about the last time you failed. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe you missed a big opportunity. Now, instead of just feeling angry or sad about it, ask yourself how this setback pushed you to grow. Did it teach you patience? Did it force you to develop new skills? Did it open your eyes to a better path? When you reframe setbacks this way, you take control over how those events shape you. You begin to see setbacks as challenges designed to prepare you for what comes next. This reframing is not about pretending the pain is not real or trying to make yourself feel better artificially. It is about facing the truth that setbacks are part of life and that they carry lessons you cannot get any other way. Every successful person has been knocked down more times than you can count. What they have in common is the ability to use those moments to evolve, not just to recover. Personal evolution through setbacks requires patience and a strong mindset. It means you do not give up just because things get tough. It means you see every obstacle as a chance to learn something new about yourself or your situation. This mindset takes effort, especially when your emotions are raw and the disappointment feels heavy. But it is the difference between staying stuck in frustration and moving forward with purpose. Reframing setbacks also changes your emotional experience. Instead of bitterness or resentment, you start to feel curiosity and determination. You become interested in how this challenge will make you stronger or smarter. You begin to approach problems with a mindset of exploration rather than defeat. This shift alone improves your ability to solve problems and to stay motivated even when things are difficult. One of the biggest traps when facing setbacks is falling into self-blame or blaming others. That only drains your energy and clouds your vision. When you focus on what you can learn instead of who to blame, you reclaim your power. You become the architect of your own future, not a prisoner of past mistakes. This mindset builds resilience, which is the mental muscle that allows you to bounce back higher every time you fall. Reframing setbacks helps you build a clear connection between the difficulties you face today and the person you want to become tomorrow. Every tough experience is like a classroom where life teaches you how to handle bigger challenges with more grace. Without these lessons, growth is limited. You might get lucky sometimes, but you won't develop the strength and wisdom that come from overcoming real hardship. It is important to remember that setbacks are often necessary. They push you out of your comfort zone and force you to adapt. Comfort zones feel safe, but rarely lead to growth. When life disrupts your plans, it is giving you a chance to evolve beyond your current limits. The choice is whether to see that disruption as a threat or as an invitation. The invitation asks you to rise, learn, and become stronger. This shift in thinking also improves how you handle future setbacks. Once you've practiced reframing one failure as a lesson, it becomes easier to do it again and again. Your brain starts to expect growth from challenges. This expectation changes your emotional response. Instead of fear or avoidance, you approach setbacks with readiness and courage. You learn to see them as necessary steps, not dead ends. It is helpful to write down or say out loud how your setbacks have helped you grow. Sometimes you need to hear it clearly to believe it. Reflect on what you have learned about your limits and how you stretched them. Think about the new skills or habits you developed because you had to. Recall the moments when you surprised yourself by continuing when you wanted to quit. These reflections build confidence and remind you that setbacks are not punishments but lessons. Another important point is to avoid rushing the process. Evolution through setbacks does not happen overnight. It takes time to process, to practice new behaviors, and to build strength. Be patient with yourself. Accept that growth is often slow and uneven. Celebrate small wins along the way and trust that every step forward counts, even if it feels invisible. When setbacks happen, the first reaction may be to retreat or give up. But this response only prolongs pain and delays growth. Instead, view setbacks as invitations to explore what you need to learn. This attitude turns you into an active participant in your own life, someone who takes control and finds meaning even in difficult moments. Remember that setbacks do not define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. Reframing setbacks as steps toward personal evolution gives you a tool to take control over your story. It helps you see challenges as opportunities to become a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. This mindset creates a foundation for lasting success. It means you are prepared to face whatever comes your way with courage and confidence. It means you understand that life's challenges are not random punishments, but part of a bigger process shaping you into who you are meant to be. Embracing setbacks as part of growth also opens the door to deeper satisfaction. When you know you are evolving with every challenge, you feel more alive and connected to your purpose. You stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a teacher. You build a life where growth and progress are more important than comfort and ease. The next time life knocks you down, remind yourself that this is not the end. It is a crucial part of your evolution. Look for the lesson, find the opportunity, and take the step forward with the knowledge that every setback is a setup for something greater. The struggle you face today is the training ground for the strength you will carry tomorrow. Number 4. Accept what happened and search for its meaning. Life can sometimes deliver moments that feel unfair, painful, and confusing. Most people struggle with acceptance when things do not go the way they imagined. It is natural to resist what feels wrong or hard. The mind immediately questions why this had to happen. There is a fight against reality, a desire to rewind time or change the outcome. This reaction is common and understandable because pain makes us want to escape. Yet resisting reality creates a heavy burden. It traps people in anger, regret, or denial. That weight only slows down healing and growth. Acceptance is not giving up or pretending the pain does not exist. It means facing the truth honestly and fully. Accepting what happened is the first step toward peace. When a person accepts reality, they stop wasting energy fighting against facts that cannot be changed. This release frees the mind and heart. It opens the door to understanding what life is trying to teach through the experience. Without acceptance, that door remains closed, and suffering lingers longer than necessary. Accepting what happened is a process, not a single moment. It requires patience and kindness toward yourself. It means allowing yourself to feel disappointment or sadness without judgment. It means sitting with difficult emotions long enough to learn from them rather than avoiding them. This kind of acceptance is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that a person is ready to move beyond pain rather than stay stuck in it. Once acceptance begins, the next step is to search for meaning in the event. Most people want life to make sense, especially when they face hardship. They want to know why this happened to them and what it means for their future. Searching for meaning transforms a painful moment from random suffering into a purposeful lesson. It gives the experience value beyond just hurt. This search creates a connection between the past and the future. It builds a bridge that carries wisdom forward. Finding meaning does not mean finding a quick answer or a neat explanation. Life's events are often complex and mysterious. The meaning might not be obvious at first. It requires reflection and sometimes revisiting the experience many times. This search can lead to new insights about personal values, strengths, or priorities. It may reveal hidden opportunities or strengths that were previously unknown. The process of seeking meaning deepens self-awareness and helps build resilience. People who successfully find meaning in hard moments often describe a sense of growth or purpose that emerges afterward. They see their struggles as part of a bigger story, not just isolated incidents. This broader perspective helps them keep moving forward, even when the path remains uncertain. The meaning they find becomes a source of motivation and hope. It turns pain into a tool for transformation. Searching for meaning also helps to release blame and regret. When the focus shifts from assigning fault to understanding lessons, emotional burdens start to lift. This shift allows people to forgive themselves and others. It opens space for healing relationships and rebuilding trust. Without meaning, pain can create bitterness and isolation. With meaning, pain becomes a shared human experience that connects rather than divides. Acceptance and meaning are not separate steps, but parts of a continuous cycle. The more a person accepts what happened, the more they can search deeply for meaning. The more meaning they find, the easier it becomes to accept reality without resistance. This cycle strengthens emotional health and mental clarity. It makes a person more prepared to face future challenges with balance. Many avoid acceptance because it feels like admitting defeat. They believe that if they accept, they lose the chance to change or improve, but true acceptance actually empowers action. It creates a clear foundation from which to build new goals and strategies. Without acceptance, efforts to improve often come from denial or frustration, which makes progress harder and less sustainable. It is important to be gentle with yourself during this process. Acceptance does not erase pain overnight. It simply allows you to acknowledge pain without letting it control your life. This acknowledgement is a gift you give yourself. It provides space to breathe, think clearly, and begin new chapters with wisdom instead of confusion. This approach also builds patience. When people accept and search for meaning, they understand that growth is not immediate. They learn to respect the timing of their own healing and change. This patience prevents frustration and the urge to rush through emotions. Instead, it encourages a thoughtful and measured path forward. When acceptance and meaning become part of your daily mindset, you stop wasting energy fighting what cannot be changed. You use your mental and emotional strength for what you can influence. This redirection of energy increases your sense of control and reduces feelings of helplessness. You feel more grounded, even when life feels unstable. Accepting what happened and searching for meaning also improves relationships with others. When you come to terms with your own experiences, you become more compassionate toward others' struggles. You understand that everyone faces challenges and that pain is a universal language. This empathy builds deeper connections and stronger support systems, which are vital during difficult times. It is helpful to create quiet moments for reflection during this process. Find time to be alone with your thoughts, away from distractions. This space allows your mind to settle and insights to emerge. Sometimes talking with a trusted friend or mentor can help clarify your understanding. Sharing your search for meaning can also inspire others to reflect on their own experiences. The ability to accept reality and find meaning is a skill that anyone can develop with practice. It requires courage to face hard truths and curiosity to explore their lessons. This skill strengthens with every challenge faced and every lesson learned. Over time, it becomes a powerful tool for living a life of purpose and resilience. It is important to remember that acceptance does not mean forgetting or giving up hope. Instead, it means making peace with what has happened so you can build a better future. This peace gives you a solid foundation for setting new goals, making better decisions, and creating the life you want. It is the calm in the storm that lets you navigate difficult waters with confidence. When life feels overwhelming, remind yourself that acceptance is not about weakness. It is about waking up to reality so you can use your energy wisely. Searching for meaning transforms pain into power. It helps you see that even the toughest moments serve a purpose in your story. This understanding strengthens your resolve and brightens your path forward. The choice to accept and seek meaning changes your relationship with life itself. Instead of fearing hardships, you start to see them as teachers. You learn that meaning can be found even in the darkest times. This perspective brings hope, courage, and peace. It creates a life where every experience, good or bad, adds to your strength and wisdom. Accepting what happened and searching for its meaning creates a foundation for personal growth that cannot be shaken by circumstance. It prepares you to face whatever comes next with clarity and courage. It connects you deeply to yourself and to the purpose that guides you, and it transforms life's hardest moments into the source of your greatest power. Number 5. Ask yourself what this moment is teaching you. Life often puts people in situations that feel overwhelming and confusing. Many find themselves stuck, asking why things happened the way they did, or wishing things had turned out differently. It is natural to want clear answers and easy solutions, but life rarely offers that. Instead, what life does provide are moments filled with lessons, waiting quietly to be discovered. The challenge is learning to ask the right question. What is this moment teaching me? This question opens a doorway to growth that many miss because they focus on pain or loss instead of the lesson within. When facing difficult times, most people fall into one of two traps. Either they avoid thinking about the event altogether, or they get lost in negative emotions that paralyze them. Neither path helps move forward. The powerful alternative is to actively search for the lesson hidden inside the experience. This is not about blaming yourself or others. It is about turning your attention toward understanding what this moment reveals about life, about your choices, and about your character. Asking what the moment is teaching forces you to slow down and reflect deeply. It pushes you to step back from immediate emotions and view the situation through a clearer lens. This shift helps you uncover important truths about yourself. Maybe the lesson is about patience when results do not come quickly. Maybe it is about setting healthier boundaries with people around you. Or maybe it reveals a need for greater courage to take risks you have been avoiding. Each experience has something unique to teach if you look closely. This question also encourages responsibility. It reminds you that you have the power to learn and grow from every event, no matter how painful or disappointing. Instead of feeling helpless or stuck, you become an active participant in your own growth. You start to see challenges as invitations to develop qualities that lead to success and happiness. The moment becomes less about suffering and more about opportunity. It is helpful to pause regularly and ask this question during tough times. The answers may not come all at once. They might reveal themselves slowly over days or weeks. This ongoing reflection deepens your understanding and helps you make better choices moving forward. It changes how you respond to future difficulties by building a habit of looking for lessons instead of simply reacting to pain. Many people shy away from this question because it can be uncomfortable. Facing the truth about what a difficult situation is teaching requires honesty and courage. It means acknowledging mistakes or weaknesses and accepting that growth is often hard work. But the reward is worth the effort. This process builds strength and resilience that lasts long after the moment has passed. When you ask what the moment is teaching you, you begin to see your story differently. Instead of a series of random setbacks or failures, your life starts to look like a path of continuous learning and improvement. This perspective gives meaning to struggle and fuels hope. It helps you hold on to faith that even the darkest moments contribute to a brighter future. This approach also improves emotional health. It reduces feelings of helplessness and despair by replacing them with curiosity and determination. You become more interested in what you can control, your attitude and actions, rather than what you cannot control, external events. This shift in focus empowers you to take charge of your life and build a stronger foundation for success. Asking what the moment is teaching cultivates humility. It reminds you that you do not have all the answers and that life is a continuous teacher. This humility opens you to new perspectives and wisdom from others. It encourages learning not just from personal experience, but also from the stories and insights of people who have faced similar challenges. This openness deepens your understanding and enriches your growth. Another benefit of this mindset is improved decision-making. When you see each experience as a lesson, you gather important information that guides your next steps. You learn what works and what does not. You recognize patterns and avoid repeating mistakes. Your choices become wiser and more aligned with your true goals and values. This question also strengthens your sense of purpose. When you identify the lessons in difficult moments, you connect with a deeper reason for facing them. You see how your struggles contribute to the person you want to become. This sense of purpose motivates you to keep moving forward, even when progress is slow or uncertain. Reflection on the lessons of each moment builds a mindset of growth and possibility. It teaches you to view life as an unfolding journey where each experience adds to your wisdom. This mindset helps you remain flexible and open to change, qualities essential for success in an unpredictable world. It is useful to write down the answers you discover when you ask yourself this question. Putting thoughts on paper clarifies insights and makes them more real. Reviewing these reflections over time reveals progress and reinforces your learning. This habit creates a personal record of growth that can inspire you during future challenges. Sometimes the lessons you discover may involve tough truths about your own actions or attitudes. Facing these truths is uncomfortable but necessary. It allows you to take responsibility and make meaningful changes. This honest self-assessment is a crucial step toward personal transformation. It is important to remember that not all lessons are immediately pleasant or easy to accept. Some may challenge long-held beliefs or require sacrifice. However, the willingness to face these difficult lessons leads to greater strength and freedom. It helps you break free from patterns that hold you back and opens the door to new possibilities. When you ask what the moment is teaching, you also become more present. Instead of worrying about the past or future, you focus on the here and now. This presence allows you to respond thoughtfully and intentionally rather than reacting out of fear or frustration. It brings clarity and calm during chaotic times. This mindset creates a foundation for lifelong learning and improvement. It prepares you to handle future challenges with greater confidence and wisdom. You develop an inner compass that guides you through uncertainty and keeps you aligned with your purpose. Asking this question fosters gratitude as well. When you recognize the lessons in difficult moments, you begin to appreciate how these experiences shape your growth. You see the value in struggle and the strength gained through overcoming adversity. This gratitude strengthens your spirit and fuels a positive outlook. The practice of asking what the moment is teaching transforms your relationship with life. It changes how you experience challenges, setbacks, and failures. Instead of seeing them as obstacles to avoid, you view them as essential steps on your path. This shift creates a life filled with meaning, resilience, and hope. This mindset encourages you to take control of your story. You become the author who finds wisdom in every chapter, no matter how hard it is. You learn to listen to life's lessons and use them to build a stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled version of yourself. Number 6. Turn pain into purpose through intentional action. Life is not always kind or fair. Most people face moments that shake them to the core, moments filled with hurt and disappointment. It feels like the pain will never end. Many stay trapped in those feelings, letting the hurt define who they are. That is the harsh reality for many. Pain can either become a prison or a starting point. The choice of what to do with pain is the turning point that changes everything. Pain itself is not the enemy. The enemy is what happens when pain remains unused, when it simply weighs you down and steals your power. The real challenge is to take that pain and transform it into purpose. This transformation does not happen by accident. It requires intention, deliberate action, and a willingness to rise despite discomfort. Pain is a signal. It tells you something needs attention. It demands your focus. Ignoring it or running away will only prolong suffering. When pain becomes a call to action, it can motivate you to create meaningful change in your life. This is the moment when your purpose begins to take shape. You start to see that your experience, no matter how difficult, can serve a greater goal. You become determined to use your struggle as fuel to build something better, not just for yourself, but often for others as well. Intentional action means choosing to do something specific and purposeful in response to your pain. It means refusing to remain passive or victimized. Instead, you channel your energy into constructive steps. These steps might be small at first, but they add up over time. It could mean learning new skills, seeking support, or making healthier choices. Whatever it is, every step moves you from despair toward purpose. Many people fail to take intentional action because they wait to feel better first. They believe they need motivation or the perfect moment to start. The truth is that motivation often follows action, not the other way around. The decision to act despite pain creates momentum. It builds confidence and brings clarity. Action breaks the cycle of helplessness and opens the door to healing and growth. Turning pain into purpose also requires clarity about what you want to achieve. Without a clear purpose, action can feel aimless or overwhelming. Defining a goal that matters deeply to you brings direction and meaning to your efforts. This purpose becomes a beacon that guides you through the toughest moments. It keeps you focused and committed when challenges arise. Purpose connected to pain is powerful because it comes from a place of authenticity. It is not just an abstract idea or something imposed by others. It reflects your true values and experiences. This authenticity makes your purpose resilient and sustainable. It helps you stay grounded and motivated through setbacks and doubts. When pain leads to purpose, it often inspires others as well. Your story becomes a source of hope and strength. Sharing how you turned your struggles into meaningful action encourages people facing their own difficulties. This ripple effect creates a community of support and growth. It shows that pain does not have to isolate or defeat you. To act intentionally, you must develop discipline and persistence. Pain does not vanish overnight, and the path to purpose is rarely smooth. You will face resistance, fear, and moments of doubt. Discipline keeps you moving forward when feelings are low. Persistence helps you overcome obstacles and setbacks. Together, they transform occasional efforts into lasting change. It is important to be patient with yourself during this process. Transformation takes time. You may stumble or feel like progress is slow. That is normal. The key is to keep taking consistent steps. Each small action builds strength and moves you closer to your purpose. Over time, these efforts create momentum that propels you forward. Intentional action also involves learning from mistakes and adjusting your approach. When you treat setbacks as feedback rather than failure, you grow wiser and more adaptable. This flexibility helps you refine your purpose and find better ways to achieve it. It prevents discouragement and keeps your efforts aligned with your evolving goals. Pain turned into purpose creates a sense of empowerment. Instead of feeling controlled by circumstances, you take charge of your life. This empowerment improves your self-esteem and mental resilience. You develop confidence in your ability to face future challenges. This inner strength becomes a foundation for continued growth and fulfillment. A practical way to turn pain into purpose is to set clear, achievable goals. Break down your purpose into manageable tasks. Prioritize actions that directly address your pain or support your healing. Celebrate small victories to maintain motivation. Use setbacks as learning moments rather than reasons to quit. This structure makes the process tangible and less overwhelming. Another powerful tool is surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth. Purposeful action thrives in a positive environment. Seek mentors, friends, or communities that uplift you and share your vision. Their support provides encouragement and accountability. It also reminds you that you are not alone in your journey. Reflection is also critical. Regularly assess your progress and realign your actions with your purpose. This practice ensures that your efforts remain intentional and effective. Reflection deepens your understanding of how pain connects to your growth. It helps you stay honest and clear about what you want to create from your experience. Turning pain into purpose also changes how you experience suffering. Pain no longer feels meaningless or random. Instead, it becomes part of a larger story of transformation. This perspective reduces feelings of despair and increases hope. It shifts your mindset from victimhood to victory. As you take intentional steps toward purpose, you develop new skills and strengths. These are not just practical abilities, but qualities like patience, courage, and resilience. These qualities enrich your character and prepare you for future challenges. They become assets that enhance every area of your life. Intentional action, fueled by pain, also aligns with a sense of contribution. When your purpose benefits others, your pain gains a new dimension of meaning. Helping others transforms your struggle into a source of light and encouragement. It connects you to something bigger than yourself, fostering a deep sense of fulfillment. This process also promotes mental and emotional healing. Action helps release feelings of helplessness and builds a sense of control. Purpose provides a reason to move forward and invest in yourself. Together, they create a powerful cycle of healing and growth. Ultimately, the decision to turn pain into purpose defines who you become. It shapes your future and the impact you make in the world. Pain is unavoidable, but how you respond to it is entirely up to you. Intentional action transforms pain from a weight that drags you down into wings that lift you higher. This transformation is not easy. It requires courage, commitment, and hard work. But it is one of the most powerful choices a person can make. It turns life's toughest moments into the foundation of a meaningful and successful life. It proves that pain, when harnessed with purpose, is not the end of the story, but the beginning of something greater. Number 7. Share your story to inspire and heal others. Almost everyone has faced moments that felt unbearable. Moments where silence felt safer than speaking out. People often hide their struggles because they believe their pain is private or shameful. It is common to think that sharing personal challenges will only bring judgment or weaken us. This is the reality many live with daily. However, there is incredible power in sharing your story. Opening up about your experiences does not just lighten your burden. It also has the ability to inspire and heal others who may feel isolated by their own struggles. Your story is a bridge that connects human experiences. It shows that pain is universal and that recovery and growth are possible. When someone hears your story, they do not just listen to words. They feel the courage behind those words. They find hope in the fact that someone else faced hardship and came through. This connection reminds people they are not alone in their pain. That alone can be a lifeline in moments of despair. Your story becomes a source of strength for others, even if you never meet them face to face. Sharing your story also helps you. Carrying pain silently can create feelings of loneliness and shame. When you express your truth, you release some of that weight. Speaking about your journey brings clarity and acceptance. It allows you to face your experiences with honesty rather than avoidance. This process often leads to emotional healing and growth. The act of telling your story changes the narrative from one of suffering to one of survival and resilience. Many hesitate to share because they fear being misunderstood or judged. This fear is natural but can be overcome by choosing the right audience. Finding a safe space or supportive community makes all the difference. When you share with people who respect and encourage you, the impact is far greater. It builds trust and deepens connections. This safe environment allows healing to happen on both sides, for you and for those listening. Storytelling is also a way to make meaning from difficult experiences. When you organize your thoughts and feelings into a story, you create order from chaos. You highlight lessons learned and how you changed. This clarity helps you understand your past and see your path forward. It gives your pain purpose because it becomes part of a larger journey of growth. People are inspired by stories because stories are relatable. They provide real examples of how someone faced adversity and overcame it. This realism offers practical hope rather than empty promises. It reminds people that change is possible and that setbacks are part of the process. Inspiration from stories fuels motivation and courage. It encourages others to keep moving even when the road is tough. Sharing your story also fosters empathy. It breaks down walls of misunderstanding and builds compassion. When people hear about your challenges and triumphs, they begin to see life from your perspective. This understanding creates stronger relationships and communities. It reduces isolation and stigma around difficult topics. Your story helps create a world where pain is met with support rather than judgment. The process of sharing your story can be done in many ways. It might be a conversation with a trusted friend or family member. It could be writing your experiences in a journal or blog. Some find healing in public speaking or creative expression like art or music. Choose the method that feels authentic and comfortable for you. What matters most is the intention to connect and support others through your truth. It is important to be mindful of your boundaries when sharing. You control how much and when to share. Healing does not require exposing every detail or reliving trauma repeatedly. You decide the pace and depth that feels safe. Setting boundaries protects your emotional well-being while still allowing the benefits of openness. When your story resonates with others, it creates a ripple effect. People who hear you may feel inspired to share their own stories. This creates a cycle of healing and empowerment. Communities grow stronger as members support each other through shared experiences. The simple act of sharing one story can ignite transformation for many. Stories that come from struggle carry deep lessons. When you share what you learned through hardship, you give others tools to navigate their own challenges. These lessons are often more impactful than advice because they come from lived experience. Your honesty provides a roadmap of resilience and hope. In addition to emotional benefits, sharing your story can lead to practical opportunities. It might open doors to mentorship, partnerships, or new friendships. People are drawn to authenticity and courage. Your story can attract the support and resources you need to keep growing and thriving. Sometimes sharing your story uncovers hidden strengths. When you reflect on what you endured and overcame, you realize how capable you really are. This self-awareness builds confidence and prepares you for future challenges. It transforms your identity from victim to survivor to leader. There will be times when sharing your story is difficult. You might feel vulnerable or afraid. These feelings are part of the process and show you are pushing past old limits. Each time you speak your truth, you grow stronger and more comfortable with vulnerability. This strength is a powerful form of courage that inspires others deeply. Remember that your story is unique and valuable. No one else has lived your exact journey. Your voice matters, and your experience can make a difference. When you share openly, you honor your past and empower your future. Your story is a gift. It carries the potential to heal wounds, inspire change, and build connections. Choosing to share it is an act of bravery and generosity. It transforms pain into purpose and isolation into community. There is no need for perfection or a polished narrative. The raw, honest truth is what touches hearts. People relate to realness, not perfection. Your willingness to be open encourages others to do the same. This shared vulnerability builds trust and deepens relationships. Ultimately, sharing your story helps create a world where pain is met with understanding. It encourages a culture of empathy and support rather than silence and stigma. Your voice is a light in the darkness for many who struggle quietly. By speaking up, you become part of a healing movement that changes lives. Sharing your story is not only about you, it is about all the people who need to hear that they are not alone. It is about giving hope where there was despair. It is about showing that no matter how hard life gets, there is always a way to rise again. The decision to share takes courage and vulnerability, but it also brings freedom and connection. It turns the hardest parts of life into sources of strength. Your story can inspire healing in others while strengthening your own spirit. This is the true power of telling your truth. Number 8. Stay open to growth in every life season. Life rarely follows a straight path. Most people encounter unexpected twists that challenge their expectations and shake their sense of stability. At times, these changes bring discomfort, confusion, or even fear. It is normal to resist what feels unfamiliar or difficult. Yet, every season of life holds the potential to teach us valuable lessons and fuel our personal growth. The challenge lies in remaining open and receptive to that growth, no matter the circumstances. This openness is not always easy. It asks for patience, humility, and the willingness to see beyond immediate pain or frustration. When people close themselves off to change, they miss opportunities to learn and evolve. Growth happens not just in the easy moments, but more importantly in the hard ones. Every season in life, whether marked by success or setback, carries gifts for those willing to embrace it. During difficult seasons, it is natural to feel stuck or overwhelmed. The pressure to have everything figured out weighs heavily. It can be tempting to retreat into old habits or familiar comforts to avoid discomfort. However, growth requires moving through the challenge rather than avoiding it. Facing uncertainty opens doors to new perspectives and possibilities. Instead of resisting what is happening, leaning into the experience with curiosity allows you to discover strengths you did not know you had. This mindset shifts how you relate to hardship. It transforms problems into learning experiences. Each season of life also invites self-reflection. When circumstances change, it is an opportunity to ask important questions about your values, goals, and identity. Who are you becoming in this phase? What skills or qualities do you need to develop? What beliefs are holding you back? These questions guide purposeful growth. They keep you connected to your deeper purpose even when external situations feel unstable. Growth is not random but intentional when it is guided by self-awareness. Openness to growth also means letting go of the need for control. Most people want certainty and clear answers, but life often delivers neither. Accepting that you cannot control everything frees you to adapt and find creative solutions. It encourages resilience rather than frustration. This acceptance does not mean giving up, but rather learning to work with what is present. Flexibility becomes a strength, not a weakness. Growth is often invisible at first. Changes in mindset or character happen slowly and subtly. This can be discouraging when progress feels unseen. However, trust that transformation is occurring beneath the surface. Like a seed breaking through soil, growth takes time before it becomes visible. Keeping a daily practice of reflection or journaling can help track small but meaningful shifts. Over time, these add up to profound change. Recognizing incremental progress builds motivation and hope. Every life season demands different skills and attitudes. Success seasons may require discipline and focus. Difficult seasons often call for patience and compassion. Growth happens when you meet each season with the qualities it requires rather than resisting or wishing for something else. This willingness to adapt strengthens emotional intelligence and deepens maturity. It also expands your capacity to handle future challenges with grace. Being open to growth also means embracing feedback and learning from others. Sometimes the lessons we need come from external sources, friends, mentors, or even strangers. Listening openly without defensiveness allows you to gain new insights. Feedback can highlight blind spots and offer guidance on how to improve. This openness fosters humility and continuous learning. It keeps you moving forward rather than stuck in old patterns. Seasonal changes in life can also affect your relationships. People around you may change, or your role within those relationships shifts. Staying open to growth means navigating these changes with honesty and kindness. It requires communicating your needs and being willing to listen. Healthy relationships become a source of support and growth when both parties remain open to change. At times, growth requires letting go of past identities or attachments. Clinging to who you were or what you had may prevent you from becoming who you need to be. This can be painful, but is essential for transformation. Each season asks for a new version of yourself. Releasing old stories or roles makes space for new strengths and opportunities. This process is a form of renewal that keeps life dynamic and meaningful. Remaining open to growth also means practicing gratitude for the lessons hidden in every experience. Gratitude shifts focus from what is lost or difficult to what is gained. It softens resistance and opens the heart. Appreciating growth in all its forms brings peace even in uncertain times. Gratitude grounds you in the present and fuels optimism for the future. When you stay open to growth through every season, you build resilience. Resilience is not just bouncing back, but growing stronger from challenges. It is the ability to face life's unpredictability with courage and hope. This resilience shapes your character and deepens your wisdom. It prepares you to handle whatever comes next with greater confidence. Life seasons are like chapters in a book. Each one adds depth to your story. Staying open to growth means embracing each chapter fully, knowing it contributes to your overall journey. The richness of your life comes from the variety of experiences and how you respond to them. Openness creates a life that is vibrant, evolving, and meaningful. Your mindset is the key to unlocking growth. Choosing to see each season as an opportunity rather than a setback transforms your experience. This shift requires conscious effort and practice. It means catching negative thoughts and replacing them with empowering ones. It means focusing on what you can control rather than what you cannot. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to seek growth naturally. Growth is a continuous process. It does not end when problems are solved or goals are reached. Life will always bring new seasons that demand fresh growth. Embracing this truth brings freedom from pressure to be perfect or finished. It allows you to be a lifelong learner, always evolving and improving. To stay open to growth, develop daily habits that nurture your mind and spirit. Reading inspiring books, listening to motivating talks, or spending time in reflection all contribute. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth. Avoid those who drain your energy or resist change. Your environment influences your ability to stay open and positive. In moments when growth feels impossible, remember that discomfort is a sign of progress. Feeling unsettled means you are stretching beyond old limits. Growth never happens in comfort zones. It requires stepping into the unknown and facing fears. This is where true transformation begins. Staying open to growth means trusting the process of life. It means believing that every season has a purpose, even if it is not clear right away. It means having faith in your ability to learn and adapt. This trust brings peace in uncertainty and strength in struggle. When you embrace growth in every season, you create a life of depth and purpose. You become a person who is not defined by circumstances, but shaped by how you respond to them. This openness to change and learning makes your journey rich and fulfilling beyond measure. It is the greatest gift you can give yourself in the face of life's challenges. Number 9. Trust that discomfort often leads to transformation. Discomfort is a feeling almost everyone tries to avoid, yet it is one of the most reliable signs that change is happening. Most people are wired to seek comfort and stability because those feelings give a sense of safety. When discomfort creeps in, it triggers fear, doubt, or frustration. It pushes against the familiar and threatens the known way of living. But here is a truth many overlook. Discomfort is not the enemy. It is actually a signal that transformation is underway. The moments when life feels hardest are often the exact moments when the most growth is possible. It is in discomfort that character is forged and strength is built. Many struggle to accept discomfort because it feels unpleasant and threatening. Pain of any kind creates resistance. When faced with emotional or physical struggle, the first reaction is often to escape or numb the feelings. This response only delays growth. Discomfort is like a doorway to a new level of understanding and ability. To walk through that door, one must lean into the feelings rather than run from them. Trusting discomfort means believing that the difficult experience has a purpose and that it will lead to something better. Transformation rarely comes in a straight line. It is often messy and unpredictable. When discomfort rises, it means old patterns or beliefs are being challenged. This challenge is uncomfortable because it shakes the foundation on which people have built their identity or lifestyle. Holding tightly to the old way feels safer in the short term, but it blocks the possibility of becoming something greater. Growth demands releasing what no longer serves and stepping into unknown territory. This unknown is where discomfort lives, but it is also where transformation thrives. To trust discomfort means developing patience. Growth does not happen overnight, and the feeling of discomfort can linger longer than expected. Patience allows you to stay committed to the process even when results are not immediate. It also helps to separate temporary pain from permanent damage. Most discomfort is a passing phase that leads to stronger, wiser versions of yourself. Remembering this makes it easier to endure tough moments without giving up or losing hope. Embracing discomfort requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing difficult feelings as signs of failure or weakness, view them as opportunities to build resilience. Each time you face discomfort and continue moving forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling challenges. This builds confidence and courage. Over time, the threshold for discomfort expands, making future struggles less daunting. What once felt unbearable becomes manageable and even familiar. This growing strength is the essence of transformation. Discomfort also teaches humility. When life becomes difficult, it reveals areas where control is limited. Humility opens the door to learning and growth because it removes the arrogance that can block progress. Accepting that you do not have all the answers or control over every situation creates space for new solutions and perspectives. This openness is necessary for transformation to take root. Without humility, discomfort can turn into frustration and bitterness instead of growth. Another important aspect of trusting discomfort is recognizing the value of struggle. Many people look back on their hardest times and see them as the moments that defined who they became. Struggle creates empathy, wisdom, and a deeper appreciation for success. It molds a person's character in ways easy victories never can. When discomfort is embraced rather than avoided, it becomes a tool for self-discovery and empowerment. Physical discomfort and emotional discomfort often go hand in hand during transformation. Whether it is stress, fatigue, or heartache, these sensations remind you that change is happening inside and out. Learning to listen to your body and emotions during these times is vital. They provide clues about what needs attention or adjustment. Ignoring these signals can lead to burnout or setbacks. Honoring discomfort by taking appropriate care ensures growth is sustainable and balanced. Trusting discomfort also requires surrounding yourself with support. When facing tough seasons, it helps to have people who encourage your progress and remind you of your strength. Isolation increases the temptation to give in to despair or resistance. A supportive community provides perspective and motivation to keep going. It reminds you that discomfort is a shared experience and that transformation is possible. Sometimes discomfort comes from making difficult choices or sacrifices. Choosing a new path, leaving old habits, or standing up for your values can create temporary pain. These choices are often necessary for long-term growth. Trusting discomfort means believing that the short-term difficulty is worth the greater good ahead. It takes courage to make those choices, but also offers a powerful sense of freedom and authenticity. To build trust in discomfort, it helps to reflect on past experiences. Look back on times when discomfort led to positive change. Recall how those moments shaped your strength, skills, or mindset. This reflection reinforces the belief that discomfort has been a faithful guide in your life before and will be again. It creates a foundation of trust that supports you when new challenges arise. Discomfort can also act as a compass. When something feels uncomfortable, it may be pointing you toward growth areas that require attention. This awareness allows you to act with intention rather than react impulsively. Using discomfort as a signal empowers you to take control of your transformation journey. Instead of fearing discomfort, you begin to anticipate its lessons and benefits. In trusting discomfort, it is important to balance acceptance with action. Discomfort alone will not transform you unless it is met with deliberate steps forward. Whether it is changing a mindset, forming a new habit, or seeking help, action activates the transformation process. Staying stuck in discomfort without movement can lead to stagnation. The power lies in facing discomfort head-on and moving through it with purpose. Transformation through discomfort is a deeply personal process. Each person's journey looks different depending on their circumstances and goals. Comparing your path to others can create frustration and doubt. Trusting your own experience and timing is essential. Growth is not a race but a steady unfolding. Honor where you are while keeping your eyes on where you want to go. Finally, trust that discomfort is temporary but transformation lasts. The pain, uncertainty, and struggle that come with growth will pass. What remains is a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. This truth can give strength in the darkest moments. Knowing that discomfort is a necessary and valuable part of transformation helps to face life's challenges with courage and hope.